We're live now on Blog Talk. We're live now on Facebook. So, greetings, folks. We got a lot to cover tonight, so we'll get right to it. Treasonous government exposed, how to restore God's law. You're listening to People of God, so um, I'm always late coming in as usual, so trying to get the invite friends mode on, and it's not working. Not working. Let's see. So we're going to. Yep, not letting me invite friends. So that's what I was doing last week to get folks to go. I mean, we're live. We've been doing this for I don't know 2 years, 2.5 years, live broadcast, and we have actually a guest tonight. So I don't know how Facebook is hiding this from everyone, but I'm taking a screenshot. Um, on Blog Talk Radio, we're live on Facebook. So greetings. We got a lot to cover. this is this is pretty crazy. All right, now we're getting somewhere right now. I'm not really gonna get to anything. I'm not gonna cover anything. So apologies to those listening on Blog Talk Radio. We've got a lot to cover. We've got a guest, somebody named Taylor Sommers. He is a critique of the Militia Handbook, and he is a defender of the Federal Reserve, bank system, and a government spokesperson. So we've got government spokesperson Taylor Sommers on the show tonight. He had some crazy things to say. He acts as if he knows what he's talking about. I think he's some sort of financial professional in the field of government controlled finance, and he is a defender of the Federal Reserve. He is stating that the Federal Reserve Bank does not have the exclusive ability to create money, and we're going to refute him. And the first thing I'm going to do is just refute him using the heads of the Federal Reserve Bank system to tell you the Fed has infinite cash. The Fed has no other equal. It is completely independent. There's no government agency that can tell the Federal Reserve Bank anything, that can request. It's not about who's in charge of the Federal Reserve Bank or not. And this is old stuff. This is old stuff. But that there is no government agency that can even request anything of the Federal Reserve Bank. So when these unprecedented moves are being made in the economy, and the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve Bank, starts expanding, and then they start writing everything off, debts for oil companies, bailouts, and that they are behind all of this, zero interest rates, because it's not just the Federal Reserve. It doesn't operate independently. It operates as part of the Bank for International Settlements. We all know all this stuff. If anyone has ever listened to this show or watched the Press TV series called Money Trail, that had episodes, 3 episodes, actually 5 episodes out of, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 that they had. The ones that I was not in, they did not matter. We told you everything you needed to know, and the international banking cartel has been so many years. It's so stupid to go back over this, but I love to expose how snarky and how simply wrong in every sense these folks are. And of course, Jessica Collins. We're going to talk about Jessica Collins and the fact that she is a political prisoner right now in the Virginia penal system. I think it's Eastern Shore Regional Jail. We'll give you the details. I have called up already and attempted to require my servants allow me to speak to a political prisoner who has been disappeared. she broadcast everything about the trial, and then now nobody has really heard from her. Some random individual on Twitter I got some sort of message from. Uh, no name. I don't know who this individual is. She gave the correct information. I'm not besmirching her. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know what happened to her. I was talking to her during the trial. I was talking to Jessica Collins during the trial, which I don't know exactly what time it ended. I heard during the trial the judge making reference to a midnight ending to the trial. I believe the trial started at 11 a.m. I could be wrong, but it went on for hours and hours and hours. I received 3 phone calls from Jessica Collins during the trial, during breaks in the kangaroo illegitimate court trial run by someone acting treasonous, acting on behalf of the Commonwealth, named uh, Spencer Morgan, and the judge who sentenced her to 6 months for I don't even know what the crime was. They say DUI, but there's no proof she was driving the car, and assault. Only there's video that shows that she actually is being assaulted, and they stick her in a cage for 6 months. Others and myself are calling her a political prisoner because that's what's going on with Jessica Collins. So again, I mean, it's so funny how all this stuff goes. But it's the opposite. We've been telling you everything that the government says. Think the opposite is true, and you will seem like a super genius. You will seem like an absolute super genius. So when we say, hey, it's coming, they're going to take away all your freedom. Oh, these guys are conspiracy theorists. Well, they're telling us. I'm just saying what they're saying they're going to do. I'm just showing what they are actually doing. And what they're doing is saying, yeah, we're going to do this. Oh, you're crazy if you think we're going to do this. And oh, you're mentally ill. You're crazy. Oh, there's everything else going on but this. Oh, yeah, all the proof is a small cabal is making billions while they're giving you thousands. You know, I mean, okay. Okay, if we're going to divvy something up, and this is how everything works in this fraudulent economic system. And I say, okay, um, let's divvy up some money. We got $20,000 here. Um, uh, we are we're the exact same. Oh, you're not part of this fictional corporation in which we extort, wage war, and engage in nothing but fraud. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's split this up evenly and have everyone pay the same price of what they're worth. I'll take $19,700. Here, you can have $300. Oh, you did all this work, 40 hours a week for your whole life, doing actual work while I sat around doing nothing. That's all right. Here's $300. I'll take the 19,700. And hey, I'll have another 20,000 tomorrow. We'll do the same exchange. Our lives will be equal. And yeah, there you go. That's what they wish for us to believe. So let's get into the details about the Jessica Collins case. I just told you. I mean, there allegedly was a recording. So basically, they take the recording. They knew they were going to lock her up before the trial even started. She was convicted before the trial even started. She was put in a cage after being drugged, seemingly. No, I haven't heard no one refute that. Um, and I mean, there were some interesting things that happened before the trial. There was allegedly that there were 10 witnesses against Jessica Collins. Um, there was no Megan Traxler. That one of the arresting officer is no longer employed by the police department that made the arrest police. Police is something to do, to police, not an entity. That's not the proper way under our common law. The militia is the law enforcement body of the people, and the police is a private organization run for, paid by the Federal Reserve Bank. So it all comes back to this again. We get distracted sometimes, and it's not really that they're distractions, because it's just giving more context to what we've been saying for many years. And that is there's a private organization called the Federal Reserve Bank, and it controls everything that the government does, and it creates all the money, and it puts it out there in a way that it can never be equal or fair in any way. It's 100% fraudulent. It doesn't do anything but commit fraud. It wipe out, the usury and the fact that that's the biggest abomination before God. Usury is explicitly stated in our law book, which is the Bible, that usury in the Bible, that's a death penalty. And they are explicit about it, and they say, hey, it's not just that you're getting the death penalty. You've done all these abominations. Your blood is on your hands if you commit usury. And that's all the Federal Reserve Bank does. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything else. All right, so waiting for callers. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. We are going down through the disgusting headlines of the week, the funny stuff. We're going to get into the fake Westgate shooting. Armando Jr. Hernandez, Westgate shooter, 2020. Then he puts on his mask. We got a bunch of other stuff floating around the internet. Looks like different guys. The worst scripting, worst acted government stage shooting I have seen maybe ever. I mean, the Virginia reporter shooting, the what was that? Adam, what was that guy's name? It was there's a, wait, Allison WBDJ, I think, shooting. Anyway, we'll get those names for you in just a second. Yeah, it was WDBJ. It was here in Virginia, in the southwestern part of the state. And Allison Parker, Adam Ward. What am I thinking? How could I forget that? I mean, we got kicked off YouTube for showing how stupid that one was, how ridiculous that one was. Oh, and we got our one of our first bans on this Facebook profile for exposing them dressed up in crisis actor fake injuries, like look like they were like massively injured, and they're smiling in front of the camera. I mean, all that stuff. Her gay boyfriend is now a member of the House of Delegates in Virginia. Allegedly got a DUI and got out of it because they can't press charges against these members of the House of Delegates or something like that. But anyways, they're all crisis actors. The WDBJ shooting we're discussing right now, just in its relation to the Armando Jr. Hernandez Westgate shooter 2020. And then allegedly he shot some lady, and she's like, you already shot me, dude. Society's mean. I'm gonna make everybody pay. You already shot me, dude. I didn't do that stuff. So, like, just worse acting than that. No emotion. I mean, lady, you just got shot. No emotion. And all you got to say is, you already shot me, dude. All right. Okay, they took in, that's the Commonwealth of Virginia, the federal government, the United States federal government, the illegitimate treasonous, de facto, criminal syndicate, Ashkenazi controlled, Vatican controlled, Synagogue of Satan and Whore of Rome controlled, treasonous, United States, de facto police state, and the de facto Virginia government, priests of Baal, criminals, locked up Jessica Collins in Eastern Shore Regional Jail. She got 6 months. For what? For what? That they're letting out violent criminals and putting in what? The jails are filled up. What are they filled up with? These folks that they human traffic. The government, intelligence agencies, all of them. Mossad, RAW, MI6, CIA, DHS, FBI, they all FBI, just an offshoot of some secondary and tertiary of importance organization that I became a member of. It's a bloodline membership, or it should be, and of course the importance is couched always. The importance is couched ka. Nobody would ever say that if they're a member of this organization, unless they're really in the know. Ka, like the ka and the ba. So we know where our ancestors came from. We know what our Bible is. We know that we are the creators of all civilization, and that we see these degenerates, these degenerate wastes of oxygen, that are trafficking humans, human child prostitution. It's all the government. It's not like fringes of the internet anymore. I mean, I've confronted the government many times, and confronted them, and then done a radio interview after saying, hey, the city of Richmond government is sending children to a known pedophile organization that is an outshoot of the Mexican mafia, and just, I mean, it's on the front page of the paper. Oh, Richmond Social Services is allowing its children knowingly to be abused, and they're keeping them in these homes and then transferring them to other homes where they're being abused. That's on the front page of the paper. But these dummies at the paper, they can't connect the dots and go like, oh, the intelligence agencies. Oh yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, and then the government agencies. Oh, they move these children around. Oh, they experiment on them with drugs. Oh yeah, it just happens like that. It's just a coincidence. It just doesn't mean, it's no connection. Oh yeah, the Federal Reserve, they control all of the economy. They are the regulator of all the economy. They set the money at which the value at which the money will be worth. They control the unemployment rate through their raising and lowering of rates. They control the price of everything, and they also control the valuable assets that they aren't audited for. But yeah, and there's no equal in the government, and the government can't even request anything of the Federal Reserve Bank that controls the money, that controls everything. Oh, but guess what? Guess what? They're not in control. They're not that powerful. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Hey, we got Clifford on the line. We had somebody else on the line, but they dropped off. So, Clifford, are you there?
Yep.
Great. Yep. Hey, yeah. Well, let me finish off with Jessica Collins so folks can get in touch with her so we can broadcast this. And I know that they're keeping this information away from everyone, so they're hiding this page. They're not even allowing me to invite anyone. We can't share this anywhere because we get locked out of our account when we attempt to share this. So, and we know we get very little cooperation with those who are creeping in the corner and don't click like and don't share it. But in any event, share, and like. I mean, this is all I can do. I mean, it doesn't even matter anymore. This is, we've said it over and over again, and it's been seen by millions of people over the years, and we haven't changed our tune at all. The address to get in touch with Jessica Collins. This is right, Jessica Collins. Ask her what we can do to help her. I sent a mail today. It will go out. It was after 5 o'clock today. It will go out tomorrow. We'll see what happens with that mail. We'll see what happens with the letter I sent Jessica Collins. Should go out tomorrow. It's been put in a mailbox today. So the address is P.O. Box 1417, Eastville, Virginia 23347. I'll repeat that again. This is Eastern Shore Regional Jail, Jessica Collins, P.O. Box 1417, Eastville, Virginia 23347. That's Jessica Lee Collins, political prisoner in Eastern Shore Regional Jail. She got 6 months for getting assaulted and getting involved in some sort of what looks like some police-run drug operation in Accomack County, Virginia, according to video. Um, the address is P.O. Box 1417, Eastville, Virginia 23347. 23347. Jessica Collins, political prisoner, Eastern Shore Regional Jail. P.O. Box 1417, Eastville, Virginia 23347. All right. So, okay, we got the caller back. So, we'll Clifford, you want to set this up, and I mean, I don't know if you want to set this up or you want to let Taylor Sommers set this up for himself.
I mean, I guess Taylor, I mean, I really wouldn't know how to set it up other than I know Taylor Sommers from my college. We never really conversed in person too much during college. He was like a year ahead of me, but I've conversed with him online after that, discussing some of this information, um, disagreements here and there, agreements on other things. Um, seems to be, I don't know. I agree with him on a lot of things. Other things he seems to like go with obfuscation, but I mean, I don't know. It's probably just be best to just jump right into it.
Yeah, okay. And the reason why I, I,
Stuff.
I'll just give the reason why I had him on because he some sort of long meandering thing about him disagreeing. Oh, saying that parts of the militia handbook were incorrect. Cliff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Specifically, the Federal Reserve controlling the value, or essentially the degree to which the Federal Reserve controls the money supply.
Right. And it is in fact in every way, and that it's not just the Federal Reserve Bank, but again, yeah, he's saying start talking about the M1 and M2, and yeah, we'll get into M1 and M2, and then we'll bring them on, and we'll basically state, you know, how this is BS, and yeah, we'll move on from there, and basically, yeah, it seems like he is. All right, let's see. All right. M1. This is Investopedia. M1 includes cash and checking deposits, while near money refers to saving deposits, money, market securities, mutual funds, and other time deposits. M2 is a circulation of the money supply that includes elements of M1 as well as near money. Now, we talk about derivatives and creating money out of nothing, and this is just it's meaningless, meaningless nonsense to confuse everyone. And so that's basically what I see. This guy is a spokesperson for meaningless nonsense. So we'll let him introduce himself. We'll bring him on now. Greetings. this is Chris Dorsey. You're on the People of God, and I believe I'm addressing some person named Taylor Sommers. I have you as a described as Federal Reserve defender and government spokesperson. Is that accurate? Do you have some sort of government sanctioned job? Hmm, I believe this is the person. Maybe I'm all wrong. Maybe it's someone else. Uh, Greetings, caller Cliff. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I hear no one on the line,
Yeah,
or hear no one
it
speaking.
right. Okay, it's a 248 number. I don't know what area code that is. Maybe there's some sort of technical difficulty or something like that. Let's see. 248. Do you know where this guy resides? Because we're about to find out what 248 area code is.
I believe he is in Michigan.
That's Michigan. Yeah, northern Michigan, Detroit. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's a bad signal. Everything else seems to be running fine. Maybe we'll unmute here. I'll I'll show y'all that we got the connection. All right. So I'm gonna try unmuting, muting. I can't do either. Oh well. Um, Caller, you there? 716. Excuse me, 248. Taylor Sommers, are you there? And I believe I misspelled his last name. So I don't know why I did that or how I did that. I guess the U is close to the. So I am correcting that now. Nope. Oh, can't really tell. The letters are rubbed off on the computer. Trying to reach Taylor Sommers. He basically was a critique, giving a critique of my book, and he seems to be involved as some sort of government official or works in an official capacity for someone for the government or something like that, saying that the Federal Reserve Bank doesn't control the economy completely, does not have exclusive control over the distribution and valuation of the money. I mean, I don't even remember what it said in the book I wrote, but I mean, I stand behind it. I've never heard anyone find any flaw. They say sometimes it's too simplistic. Hey, I'll take that, but it's enough to abolish every government on planet Earth, and I just think it's hilarious when folks come on. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this guy, Taylor Sommers. Can you hear me? Can you message the guy or something, Cliff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks like
I would say let's do 3 count and then move on. Because it can be a myriad things, right? Because again, when it comes to this information, there does seem to be like I don't know, there seem to be like hot points. He said he's talking.
he said, okay, well, we're gonna have to try something else. Maybe see if we can invite. I'm gonna try to see if I can invite him. I don't know if I can invite him because he's not uh, he's not a Facebook friend. Um, maybe you think maybe he could try to call the show up like on Facebook. That would be even better
Yeah, I'm gonna have to review.
because I'm show you what's going on. I mean, I showed you already. It's the same thing. We definitely have a connection. Um, we don't hear anything. So Maybe his phone's on mute.
Yeah, he says he can hear. Yeah, I would say, are you on mute? But I'm gonna just send him the live stream.
Okay.
He's definitely not muted.
Definitely not muted. Send him the live
Yeah,
stream and hopefully, or can you like I can't get off this page or we'll lose the broadcast. Um, can
yeah.
you?
I'm sending him the broadcast. I'm sending him the broadcast.
Yeah, and maybe see if we can
On Facebook.
right. Maybe see if you can add him. I don't know if that would be something that they would just like shut everything down on the page if two people were, logged in at the same time to the same account. I mean, it's just all right, and maybe if he hangs up and calls back, that's another option. You know, um, that's what I would say. Hang up, call back, because it looked like he was on and he was up. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna see if he's hanging up and calling back, and also we can see if we can bring him on Facebook. Try joining. Okay, Clifford is.
So it's interesting. I tried tagging him in the comments, and it seems to have untagged him. So in the comments on the Facebook live stream. So yeah, there's definitely I'm convinced there's funny business going on.
Yeah.
I mean, but there always is. But
There always is, but I mean, again, like if you call back. I mean, how long is the funny business gonna let? I mean, are they gonna do it the whole time? I mean, I'm showing you. Hold on. Okay, so that call is dropped. So if you can call back, and I've seen them do all sorts of tricks. Like I mean, anything. I mean, I'll take his word for that he wasn't on mute. Maybe it's something where it's like playing some sort of game. I've seen that many times. Stephen D. Kelly, who is a CIA agent who goes on RT and Press TV, he's one of the best at doing that. And when I mean best, the most shameless at doing that. But yeah, I don't know, I don't see another call back in, so I guess maybe remind him to call back in. I mean, he said he hears us, so I guess he would have to call back in to hear us again. So right now, it's just we're waiting for this guy to call back in. He's a defender of the Federal Reserve Bank, defender of the system. I mean, he's a spokesperson for the government basically because he goes with what the government says. A certain faction. He's a partisan government individual. Correct? Is that right? I've been looking at this guy's.
well, he was often described in college as like a right winger. I mean, I'm just giving some context. I'm not trying to necessarily label him, but I'll just say right now, my college was like a hotbed for like weird, bizarre, left wing mind control type stuff. I'll just say that right
Okay, yeah,
now.
he's back on. We're gonna see if we can get him live. Yeah,
Terrible.
yeah, we're gonna see if we can get him on. And okay, it's okay now. Now I'll show y'all that he is unmuted on our end. Can you hear? Can you speak to us, Taylor Sommers? Taylor Sommers, are you there? Is that like your background noise there, Cliff?
No, I had my phone muted for a second. Just that
Hello.
getting
Okay.
clear. So
All right. Taylor Sommers, are you there? All right, this is funny. Um, I mean, what are the odds? How can you get through and this guy can't? What does this guy? Okay, can this guy post? Can is he watching the live stream? Tell him to watch the live stream and post in to what is going to be the solution. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's okay. He dropped. Okay, we could keep trying call back. Um, yeah, I don't know. This seems real strange. I mean, he was walking into a no-win situation. I really don't know what his angle is. This is this would be a typical move. Oh, here we go. Try it again. Okay, I'm going to show you as I unmute him. Okay, see? There, it's muted until I unmute. I'm unmuting. Okay. Taylor Sommers, can you hear us? You're unmuted.
Hello.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I can hear you.
Oh,
Hear me.
excellent. Excellent. Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you very much. No, okay. That was strange that we had you on and you were unmuted and everything. And so that was
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
that was really bizarre. But yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And you basically
Sure.
yeah, I just wish for you to be able to introduce yourself, any sort of bona fides, because as I stated, the reason I'm having you on right now is because you're the first individual that I've ever run across that has stated something that in my book, the Militia Handbook, is incorrect. And you stated, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I can probably pull it up. Cliff, do you remember what page it doesn't matter. I'll just get to it, and if this is a unfair characterization, I'll allow Taylor to state that. But basically, it's something that I say, the fact that the Federal Reserve Bank controls the financial system for the United States exclusively, and with no other parallel, and with no oversight. And you stated that that was incorrect information. Is it am I mischaracterizing your critique?
I wouldn't say you're necessarily mischaracterizing my critique. Um, I think so. I mean, there's a number of different ways you could frame it. Um, my take would be that the Federal Reserve has been given by Congress and by essentially congressional negligence, um, basically free reign over monetary policy in the U.S. and that that can have some very negative effects. Definitely. There are a couple of issues though. So monetary policy over time has become a less powerful instrument. It tends to actually become less efficacious in having real effects in the economy as the interest rate goes down, and that's something that we've seen.
Right. Okay. Let me stop you there, Taylor. Taylor. Oh, whoa,
Decades, right?
Taylor. Let me stop you there. Okay. So the Federal Reserve Bank, they control the rates. They oversee the economy and they create the money. And their balance sheet is ever expanding. So what is incorrect? Basically, you state something's incorrect, and then basically you in a way that is meandering, difficult to comprehend, and using big words, you basically say exactly what you said is incorrect. The Federal Reserve. So you go, oh, the interest rates. Well, they control the interest rates, so they control everything about it. I mean, do you know about the Bank for International Settlements? Well, hold on a second. So what? They control all of them. They control every one of them. It absolutely is true. Who oversees the economy? Who oversees the economy? The T bills? Yeah, they do. They control everything because the Federal Reserve Bank. Yes, yes, yes. Why are you laughing?
Look, because this is funny. The Treasury controls the Treasury body.
The Treasury is okay. Listen, let me stop you there, Taylor. Hey, Taylor, listen to me. Taylor, you got to listen to me. Taylor, you have to listen to me. We operate under parliamentary procedure. Listen. Okay, do you understand how that works? Basically. Okay. So one conducts a meeting, and does another, do they get to just spout off and say whatever they wish?
I don't know. It's your show, man.
You don't know? No, I'm saying we're operating under parliamentary procedure. I'm not talking about a show. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. No. No. That's not how it works either. Nice try, though. I mean, I see your tricks. But here's what's going to happen, dude. I'm going to tell you that the Federal Reserve Bank is the controller of the entire economy. There's nothing else. Here, I'll read your words from Alan Greenspan. You ever heard of him?
Rings a bell.
Rings a bell. Okay. Well, sorry, I gotta find it. So I guess I should have everything ready before I start saying you're gonna see it. But I think I am coming close to it. Okay, here we go. Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency. It's according to lawyers for the Federal Reserve Bank that I've been in touch with. It is a federally chartered corporation, and that means basically that there is no other agency of the government which can overrule actions that we take. So long as that is in place and there is no evidence that the administration or Congress or anybody else is requesting that we do things, I don't request of anybody. I don't request of anything or anybody. Listen, hey, listen. Listen to me. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, every entity around the world is federally chartered corporation. Every government entity around the world is a federally chartered. Every entity, government, institution is federally chartered. It's a chartered corporation. It's incorporated. Like the governor of Virginia is an incorporation. The look, you can look it up on the internet. If you can't find that, you're too stupid to function. Are you saying that's not true? Are you saying that governments aren't federally chartered corporations?
Can't be overruled by the federal government, and yet.
Okay, and yet, listen, you don't understand parliamentary procedure. Taylor, stop talking. Stop talking. Under parliamentary procedure, say, the chair of the meeting, does everyone else in the meeting get to interrupt the chair as they're talking? Do you want to operate under some other rules? The chair actually can do that. Absolutely. Why do you say you understand something when you don't? And that's not what happened. You interrupted me. So, okay, I shall continue.
Well,
And I'll make the point, and you're setting yourself up to like be proven absolutely wrong at 100%. Because when the rules don't apply to a powerful institution that has more control over anything else, and the T-bills are subject to the actions of the Federal Reserve Bank rather than the other way around. So you're being deceitful. So one is dependent on the other, and the mechanisms by which the value of the T-bill goes up and down is controlled in every way by the Federal Reserve banking system. But the Federal Reserve banking system is nothing compared to the institutions that either you don't know about or you're afraid to talk about that we'll get into later. But we're just talking about the Fed and this Ashkenazi. Are you Ashkenazi, Taylor?
no, I'm not.
Are you sure?
Uh, uh,
No, I'm saying, are you sure? I mean, we'll post your profile pic up there if Cliff can do. Saying, I'm just saying, you look a lot like that, and in a lot of ways. But it doesn't matter. You're wrong. You're wrong on all accounts. Either way. So we'll start from the beginning. This is Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan on the NewsHour with Jim Lehrer, 18 September 2007. Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take. Okay, enough said, but we'll go on. So long as that is in place, sorry, I had difficulty with that, and there is no evidence that the administration or Congress or anybody else is requesting that we do things other than what we think is the appropriate thing. Then what the relationships are don't frankly matter. And I've had very good relationships with presidents. That's why you'll have a Democratic president and a Republican president. They have the same Federal Reserve chief, and every other thing is of less importance than the actions of the Federal Reserve Bank. But I'll tell you, the Federal Reserve Bank, they're just puppets of a larger institution and larger organized crime syndicates, or is a powerful part of an organized crime syndicate. Do you believe that the government is organized crime, Taylor? I put it to you. You have the floor now.
yeah, no, I wouldn't argue with most of that.
Okay. So you're arguing with the fact that that you think that this extremely powerful organization, that's what they're saying. I see other things too. I've had many discussions with their lawyers. I've seen that every single large scale crime, the Federal Reserve Bank is the driving force. But also it's something larger. It's the Bank for International Settlements. And okay, all right. So have you ever heard of this guy called Kashkari?
You want me to respond to any of that?
You can. Yeah, you can respond. You already said that you think government's organized crime. Yeah, you can respond. Go ahead.
Well, right. But look, the Federal Reserve independence, like what Bernanke has said in that quote.
No, not Bernanke, Greenspan.
Or Greenspan, whatever.
It's not whatever. They're different human beings. They're both Ashkenazi as well. But go on.
Okay. So, what Greenspan said in that quote, he included a conditional there, which was as long as, it's something that, as long as we're doing something that Congress and the administration agrees with, essentially, or as long as as it, we're not.
No. That's the opposite of what he said. Let me stop you there because I'm going to read this again. So long as that is in place, which what is in place? That nobody can overrule their actions. So long as that is in place, there is no evidence that the administration or Congress or anybody else is requesting that we do things other than what we think is the appropriate things. So it means, hey, as long as you agree with us, everything's cool. It doesn't mean as long as the Fed agrees with Congress.
As long as they agree with them. That's a conditional.
What the conditional is? Oh my gosh. Okay.
They can override their decision. Fed independence isn't part of the Constitution. It's not something that you need.
Do you think I think the Fed? Do you think? Listen. Stop. You don't do anything but make specious arguments. Stop it. I shan't allow that. So what I'm saying is, you're misrepresenting what that means. He's saying as long as these guys agree with us, we'll have no problem. So that's what it means. The Federal Reserve Bank, listen to me, I'm not done speaking. Then I'll put it back to you. The Federal Reserve Bank not only has any sort of thing about the Federal Reserve in it, it is explicitly unlawful under Article 1, Section 8, Article 1, Section 9, and Article 1, Section 2, Article 2, Section 4, Article 4, Section 4, Article 3, Section 3. It is unconstitutional. So don't give me this stuff. You think? Listen. Let me stop you there. Who do you work for? What do you do? They call me an economist on TV. I debate dozens and dozens of economists, and I make them look stupid. Who do you work for, and what kind of tricks do you think you're pulling with me? Who do you work for? How do you know this stuff? Watch him on TV. Watch him on video. Watch him on video. Go ahead. What do you do? Who employs you? Who employs you?
As of today, I'm not employed.
Okay, as of the last time you were employed.
As of earlier today, I was employed by a nonprofit credit counseling agency.
A credit counseling agency. A nonprofit's not a government institution? They don't have to get a 501c3 license from the government?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Well, so they're a government institution. What?
Oh, okay.
Is that incorrect?
So every nonprofit is a government institution?
Explain to me how it is not a government institution. They have to get sanctioned by the government, correct?
As does every private business?
That's right. So you can't do business without control of the government.
Every business is a government institution.
Right, is a government institution. So then when they say like, hey, everything has to shut down,
something new every day.
Listen, every government institution is a government institution? Well, everything is what it is, isn't it? So say somebody wants to work.
Because they're subject to the law, they're government institutions?
What law? You said that the government is a criminal operation. I'm just pointing out that it's all fraud. Okay.
All right.
Is everything the government does not all fraud? They create money out of nothing. Can I create money out of nothing?
Not everything.
What? Okay.
Yeah, actually you can. Yeah, actually you can.
Oh, okay. How can I?
Get other people to accept it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, like, what good does it do if I can create money out of nothing if no one will accept it?
That doesn't do you any good.
Okay, so who sanctions that? Who sanctions this institution that allows all the central banks of the world to create money out of nothing? And also that anything that they do. Well, no, I'm not done. I'm not done speaking. And that anything that they do, however fraudulent, Do you think money laundering is fraudulent? Do you think drug dealing, human trafficking, do you think those things are fraudulent?
Or fraudulent.
It's a yes, no. I'm gonna keep speaking. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna keep speaking. It's a simple question. Do you think those things are wrought with fraudulent?
Well, in a certain sense.
In a certain sense. Oh, do you think these individuals involved in the drug trade that you think they wish to be or human trafficking victims? That's rampant. That's rampant. There are millions and millions of folks in over.
I thought we were talking about the Federal Reserve.
Oh no! I'm getting there. No. We're going to talk about something larger than the Federal Reserve. We're going to talk about something larger.
Okay.
Okay. So do you think banks engage in money laundering of those? Yeah, go ahead.
So this is where knowing your subject can be a little helpful. So one thing Taylor has been posting a lot of has been Biden news. And so let's tie that to people Biden has been involved with human trafficking. There's been the whole hype about the Tara Reid sexual harassment allegations. So we know, because we've done our research, that Biden has been involved with a particular Epstein trafficking victim known as Jessica Lee Collins. And so what does the Federal Reserve have to do with human trafficking? Well, Biden being a member of the de facto U.S. government is trying to reach for the proper language. He submits to the rules and the so-called rules and regulations of the Federal Reserve. And so you have someone engaged in human trafficking who is Reserve Bank. So then one can just simply extrapolate that the Federal Reserve Bank is also supporting these human trafficking operations. Am I missing anything there?
Yeah. Actually, I was going to start. That's true too, but I'm going to go to something more expansive and talk about the Bank for International Settlements. The Justice Department of the United States has presented a case, presented evidence against, involved in all of those crimes that we're talking about: human trafficking, child rape, Epstein, Trump, casino, money laundering for the Mexican mafia, which is supplied by the FBI and the CIA and the Department of Defense. That it's all one big circle. And even if there are criminal, corrupt organizations that are once a day correct, or every broken clock is correct once or twice a day, I should say. When they come out and say, hey, these agencies, they're involved in laundering drug money and we got the case and it's SBC, then there's an organization that comes through called the Financial Stability Board and says, that's all right. See, our rules that is above us, and we say as long as these banking officials are engaged, they will never be charged. It shall never be stopped, and that goes until the end of their lives, not just the time that they're employed by the bank. I mean, this is documentable fact. I don't know. I mean, Clifford, to just put it all out there. It's like, once you realize or admit that something is a criminal operation, where are you where is one going to find non-crime? So if it's a crime from the beginning, i.e. monetizing debt, we believe in the Bible, and the Bible says, hey, you can't carry out usury, and everything in society is based in usury, and it's especially good with those nonprofit organizations where they got most of their money goes to administrative costs. So okay, there you go. I mean, it's like it's as simple as that. Once something is criminal, it's criminal all the way down. If something at its base is criminal, i.e. this institution that has confiscated all the gold in one country, and actually this is the same, confiscates, regulates, set the value of, even though nobody can, I mean, Title 31 of U.S. Code says there's got to be a physical audit of all the gold held by the Federal Reserve Bank System. That's Title 31 U.S. Code. It's never been done. And they set the value. Who sets the value? How can you set a value? Nobody even knows what the thing. The value of anything that nobody knows the value of. The Federal Reserve sets the value. Or COMEX. Hey, listen. Listen, Taylor. How many owners per ounce of gold in the COMEX are there? How many? For every ounce of gold that they say is,
I have no idea.
Take a guess. I mean, you could guess. I mean, because it's between one number and another, and there's like lots of distance in between. So what do you guess?
I don't know. Between one and
No, not between one. One is the worst guess ever, and I see the sarcasm. I see your thing. Do you think that there's a trillion owners of on the planet? Are there?
You always surprise us on every corner.
No. Well, do you think that there? I mean, see, there you go. So basically, there's a point to be proven, and your tactic is to say what you obviously know is the two incorrect answers.
Chris, look, I have.
No, I don't look. You may speak now. You may speak now. Repeat what you said. What's funny? What's funny?
You've been laughing. The utter inability to remain on a single topic, and
a single topic. I don't need to. What? Are you myopic? Are you myopic? You can only concentrate on one thing. I'm talking about the big picture. Do you know about the Financial Stability Board of the Bank for International Settlements?
I don't think. Do you know what?
No. I am asking you the questions. You don't ask me the questions. That's not the way it works. I don't accept, when I ask a question, I don't accept another question back. Do you know what the Bank for International Settlements is? And do you know about the Financial Stability Board?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how can you say that it's not fraud from top to bottom in every sort of way then? That you can spout off whatever sort of misdirection you wish to at this point, up to a certain point where I shall stop you. Unless you're making sense. Unless you're speaking of something other than nonsense.
I don't know what you mean when you say it's fraud. From where I'm sitting,
fraud.
It looks like you are pointing the finger at the instrument of the misdeeds that are being conducted, rather than the agent of the misdeeds that are being conducted.
But wait a second. Hold on. You got to stop there. Whoa. You got to stop, dude. Cuz like, okay, let's break down what you're saying. The instrument and the Bank for International Settlements, they set the capitalization rates. And in this, and they also they're the regulator of the economy. I'm speaking for every aspect. They regulate every aspect of the economy, and I'm speaking. So then they allow institutions to commit crime, fraud, money laundering, nuclear arms race, destroying the planet. And actually, what's going on now? They're putting trillions upon trillions upon trillions in the balance sheet. And what's happening? Who's getting the vast majority the average American? No. It's going to the top even more than it was before, and we have the largest discrepancy between the rich and the poor in my lifetime, possibly ever. And I bet it's going to be ever right now. We have 30, and who's in control? What instrument? They're the instrument, they're the vehicle, they're the operator. They do everything. What part of that is wrong? What part of that is incorrect? If somebody gets a license to commit crime, and there are particular areas, i.e., Deutsche Bank, HSBC, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and they can never be held accountable for their fraud, where their operation, when they're operating honestly, is fraud. And then on top of that, when there's absolutely no chance for anybody to get by, your family is rich, aren't they, Taylor? Did you get financial aid in college?
No, I didn't.
So your family's very wealthy. They benefit from this usury system, correct?
Well, no, I used to be of a certain economic standing, but I'm not anymore.
Well, how like are your parents are gonna let you be out on the street? Your family's gonna let you be out on the street. You
They're
gonna
not going to let me be
you're gonna
out
drive around in an what 22-year-old Ford sedan like myself. Is that what's going on?
So I'm someone who wants
You benefit
for working people.
from working.
Oh, not
Hey,
at
oh,
all.
well, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm working all the time. Working. You said the right word. Employed. Employed. You are involved in a ploy. And that's all that goes on in the society. That's what I'm saying. Everything's a fraud. And you're arguing and then you're agreeing. And then you're making personal attacks and then
Everything's a fraud. I mean,
everything's a fraud. Like
what does that even mean, though?
everything is based on fraud. Everything is fraud from the beginning. Listen, how is everything not fraud? Okay, so go ahead, Cliff. Go ahead.
So I was watching a video on forex trading, and the guy talking about it, he said all business in this society is based on this: getting some sort of product and selling it at a higher cost. So what, Chris? What would you call that?
Well, that's usury. That's usury, and also basically the instruments are the fraud. So basically, everything's based on manipulating rates that are controlled. So it's devaluing the currency or devaluing the cost of labor. And also at the same time, these things like arbitrage, where it's just, hey, you make money from passing one made up piece of money to another. And here's the other thing where everything is fraud. There are more than $2 quadrillion, probably more like 15 or 20 quadrillion dollars in money, in actual valued currency on the planet right now, enough to make everyone a millionaire and billionaire, and they've got the minimum wage at what, $9 an hour? So if you tell me that not everything is fraud in this system, you make yourself look silly. You make yourself look silly because there is a derivatives market of toxic mortgage loans that they create as money that is, I don't know, 100, 200 times the size of GDP. That's one derivatives market. How can you say that everything is not a fraud unless you just don't know these basic things? Unless you're fascinated with the mundane and the least important, which it sounds like you may be. Okay, so how can you say that? Are you saying that I'm not stating what facts are?
That's just a very expansive definition of
It's
everything.
do you it's not expansive.
People have to live based on
People have to live. People don't have to live. People live already. People live already.
People have to eat.
People have to eat. Okay, you cannot put Bitcoin into the ground and have food grow. So money is the way that they have, the fraud that they have used to take away the valuable assets of the people. I believe that might be on the page you disagreed with.
That's one of several. I mean, yeah.
Money. Everything is money.
In favor of like usury or
yes, you well then you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. Then it's all fraud because everything is usury. What's usury? Lending money out at interest is that's the easiest definition of usury. It's everything, but even the criminals that try to change the definitions of folks, you can't change usury that much. It's lending money at interest. That's the basis of everything. And I'll tell you, you're very confused if you think that money allows folks to eat. Because a lot of folks, they get their food for free. Now they're going to be delivering it to people's houses here in Virginia. Right. It's money somebody else is paying for these individuals. That's usury. And what do? Oh, they create bonds. And then they raise the interest rates and lower the interest rates. But when you put interest on money, it's always usury. So unless you think everything is a fraud, then you cannot say that you're against usury.
I just don't see the connection between.
But then you're blind, and I don't believe you, and you're intellectually dishonest, or you're not very smart. What's funny?
Usury is something that
No. Usury is lending money at interest.
Yeah.
Well, here's the mathematical definition.
Usury is something that happens
when money or anything else is lent out at interest. Right, all goods and services. Right, usury, all goods and services. Right, lend out at interest, at an increase, at a profit. Yes. Hey, no, let me stop you. Let me stop you there. I'm going to stop you there. Okay. So what you're saying is that people, that we exist, that God created man in order to create a monetary system?
No, it's a very imaginative.
Well, how is that? Well, you're acting as if you were stating before that people need this usury system to eat. They needed to live. So when God created man, male and female, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You not just say? Well, I mean, this is being recorded. Did you not just say in reference to money, in reference to the system, the monetary system that we have? People got to live. People got to eat. Did you not say that?
Is that not true? I mean,
yeah, people got to live. People got to eat. Right, but I'm saying money is not what allows me to eat, except for it's an artificial creation that gets in the way. Like, I don't know. I think you might have been part of your ancestors that was kicked out of all countries in Europe, or almost all the countries, unfortunately not at the same time, for charging usury. Usury was illegal for many years in Europe for most of the Christian period. Now, I'm speaking now. Remember, parliamentary procedure. So, through most of the Christian period, 3/4 illegal. And I would say people had more leisure time. They could spend their time as they chose, more than today under this usury system. And what I'm saying is that they lived, and that they worked, and that they ate. And money and this central banking system, this usury system, is not what allows me to live or me to eat or anything else. Because, like I said, they're delivering free food to people's houses and the government is paying for it. Oh, who's paying the government? Oh, well, hey, those who have to work and it be employed, and some other folks, they don't have to be. So is that a fraud? What about all this stuff, free money? And what about this, folks getting paid more money not to work than to work? Then why work in the first place? Or why be employed? So that people are getting paid more money right now to be unemployed than they are to be employed. That's in a majority of the states in America. So how is the system not 100% fraud if that's the case? And if there's machines that can check folks out of a grocery store, and that there are robots flipping burgers, and these individuals are getting paid more money to not work than they are to work, how is that not a fraud? Or, I'm using the word work, be employed. That's the better word. Be employed. How is the whole system not a fraud? How is it not?
Well, I mean, evidently it's unjust.
Okay. Unjust. Okay, unjust is worse than fraud. Lack of justice, that's worse than fraud. It's the same thing, though. What's the difference? Clearly what? Right.
It's unjust, but
it's unjust. So we're supposed to sit around and say, like,
nobody cares about workers in this society, unfortunately. It's a situation where if you as a worker,
employee. Let's go. Whoa. Listen. I'm not going to have the commie Jew Marxist propaganda. They're employees because everybody's working.
What's wrong with being a worker?
Because everybody's working all the time. No, it's inaccurate. It's inaccurate. Everybody's like, my brain is working. I think, therefore I am. My heart is working. My blood is flowing through my body. So I'm working. I'm always working. So employees, they don't care about employees. No kidding. Right. So in a system where nobody cares about employees and everybody's involved in somebody else's ploy.
You're saying it's fraudulent.
Right.
They're not lying about it.
Okay, you're saying it's unjust. I'm agreeing with you that it's unjust. Listen to me. I'm agreeing that it's unjust. So my answer to that is, are you going to keep making excuses for the unjust system and keep being a cheerleader? Keep misrepresenting on its behalf? Because that's what you're doing right now.
No, I'm the one who's pointing the finger at those who are actually responsible, as opposed to...
No, we point the finger at everyone who's responsible, everyone who benefits, like your family. Taylor Sommers, your family is responsible. Anybody who benefits from this system, anyone who keeps it going, anyone who makes excuses for it, anyone who is responsible, they're responsible. You think I don't know how to figure out who's responsible for something?
Well, I mean, if my family benefits from it,
you benefit from it. You benefit from it. Abolish it? Absolutely.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I don't benefit from it.
You're not going to get a paycheck from a government agency. You already received your last paycheck. You still benefit from it when you spend it. That's your benefit.
Well,
you cash a check and you spend it. You benefit.
By your definition, every employee in the country is a government employee.
That's right. They are.
Right?
They are. Right.
So
everyone has equal responsibility to how they benefit. So what I'm saying is, and it's pretty simple, and you're talking over me again. What I'm saying is, and I say this every week in every way, and you are someone who likes to misrepresent what's being said. I'm saying somebody who makes $1 billion is a lot less culpable and responsible than somebody who makes $9. And somebody who makes 80,000 is a lot more responsible than somebody who makes 15 or 20,000. Those who benefit the most, and somebody who's worth 44 billion or 3 trillion like the Rothschilds, they're the most responsible. So we'll start from there and we'll work our way down when it comes to responsibility. You think you come on this show and we pick you apart and you don't think that we're going to be rational about everything else? The degree is a dog responsible if they're not house trained?
I'm waiting for you to be rational.
You don't no, but you're not the judge of that. You're not the judge of that. You're a bad judge of that. Okay. Well, you're right. I'm glad you agree because you are. So what I'm saying is, hey, is it responsible for a dog that hasn't been house trained if they don't know where to go to the bathroom? So that's what the average employee's like. The public is stupid and they're not very moral. By and large. Absolutely. And they're being abused.
Why do you say that?
Because I've lived in the world and I'm not a stupid dum-dum. Yeah, the average person. Yeah. Think how, look, when you think about the average person, look at how stupid the average person is, and then think half of them are even dumber than that. Yeah. I mean, anybody who would listen to you, anybody who allows the government to lock them up and tell them to put on a mask before they can leave the house. Anyone that will give up their rights without saying a God-blessed thing. Anyone who will allow such injustice and do nothing. Yeah, that's pretty stupid. Do you disagree?
Well, I mean...
Do you disagree? Yes or no?
Well...
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, you disagree. Okay, then you're wrong. Tell me how you're wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you probably underestimate the extent to which normal people with actual jobs and
No. Persons, not people. People ordain the government. They've lost their status. They're persons now. They're citizens. Go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah, the extent to which they have been, beat down and just really demoralized by the system under which they live. And I don't think they're.
I don't blame them either. I don't blame them either. Taylor, I don't blame them either. I'm just telling you what the facts are. See, you're so dishonest. You twist everything up in your brain. You're good at that. But it's not a good skill to have. I don't blame them either. I'm just stating what the facts are. So why would you bring up blame when you said I'm incorrect? I didn't say I blame them. I said that they're have moral turpitude and they're not very smart. I'm not blaming them. I know why. I know why better than you.
I think they're probably perfectly smart. I mean, they're just working with fewer resources than you are probably.
Fewer resources?
So, they're doing the best with what they have.
Fewer resources? What? Lack of effort and intellect. Lack of looking into how the entire planet is being enslaved, all living things. Okay, then that's not very smart. That's not very smart to be. I would say to be mesmerized by pointless, ungodly distractions. And when I say ungodly, I don't mean I mean things that are against the natural law, things that are not very good, things that are we're told in simple, in simple Bible parables aren't good, and that's what our society is based on. Is that smart? If you think that's smart, we disagree with what smart is. I think it's pretty stupid. I think it's not very smart. I think it's pathetic. But hey, folks have been told. That's true. Do you know what that means?
To a certain extent, I'm not a saint, but I try to.
No, 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 no. I'm not talking about like, whether you're a saint or whether you're not, because that's kind of inconsequential. Because everything in the Bible it has like a triune meaning. It's esoteric writing. It means one thing, and then it means another, and then it means at least one more thing. Always. So when they say like, yeah, enlightenment, how does one reach enlightenment? What is enlightenment? What is oh, okay, what's at our base? Our God gland, because we don't have any concept of God except for this one gland inside. They call it the third eye. It's the pineal gland. So yeah, enlightenment. And that has to do with Christ. It also has to do with what it seems like at its base root. The idea of the perfection of man, the Son of God. Okay, so it means that obvious. You gotta submit to that. Yeah, no doubt. And it also means other things. So I'm saying, yeah, that's one thing. Maybe, not maybe, certainly, but there's other things always. It's never this or that. It's always this and that. And when getting back to what we were talking about, there's something called the Financial Stability Board of the Bank for International Settlements. Right?
Right.
Okay. What does that board
Right.
do, and what does it consist of?
I mean, all of the three management um, agencies of the Bank for International Settlements are represented by member central banks in proportion to their shareholdings in the Bank for International Settlements. The Financial Stability Board is primarily focused on trying to maintain,
Maintain what they believe is financial stability.
value of various currencies.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. That you. Hey, do you think things have cover stories? You know anything about espionage and intelligence? Like, I'm not saying that's incorrect, but I'm saying that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. The better way the better way to put it here. I'll just put it out there is that they are the highest legal body on the planet. So, for example, members of the FSB from the Bank of England can go to the Justice Department of the United States or the President of the United States and tell them, you got to stop what you're doing right now in this criminal prosecution, which they say the largest prison system in the history of the world is there for our protection from even things like organized crime. But members of the Bank of England can tell any member or members of the Federal Reserve Bank and members of the Bank of England and members of the Bank of Russia and members of the Bank of China, they can tell anyone in the United States government or in any other government what to do and what not to do, and have it be legally binding beyond any court system in the world. Is that more or less important than what you were saying?
The biggest shareholders in the Bank for International Settlements and represented on the Financial Stability Board are represented.
Federal Reserve Bank and Bank of England. Yeah, right. Federal Reserve Bank, but it doesn't matter. I'm talking about. I know specific things that have happened involving money laundering from the largest banks in the world, like Deutsche Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, HSBC. That when the government of the United States, through the Justice Department and through the executive branch and through Congress, is going after cartels involved in every crime, all the worst crimes one can think of. The Financial Stability Board, members of the Bank of England, told the United States that they must cease and desist. And that's what happened.
Well,
It's widely known.
right, because they're going after these private banks, right?
No, that's not why it is.
They're
It's
going after
because individuals are above the law, and that they are the ones that control the most valuable assets and commodities. What's more valuable than cocaine, because it's worth pennies when it's in the leaf form, and then it's worth the same amount is worth over $10,000 by the time it hits the street. What's more valuable than that?
Well, it's not a very durable product, so
Well, human beings are a durable product that may be even more valuable than cocaine, but there's nothing else more valuable than those two things as far as commodities go. Even gold. Even certainly not cannabis, certainly not heroin. But go ahead. What's more valuable than those two things?
Well,
as far as a commodity goes.
Cocaine and what?
Human beings that are used for human trafficking, slavery, prostitution is very, very, very profitable for those who are trafficking human beings. So it okay.
Yeah, by weight.
Now I'm not talking about by weight. By weight. What is? What is? What's more valuable? What's more valuable than human beings? By weight?
Huh?
You said
By
something.
weight,
Platinum is more valuable than human. Can you sell platinum? Can you sell the same platinum? What? 10 times a day, 365 days a year for 5 years at
Absolutely.
Oh, you can? You can sell it 10 times a day, and you're going to make $3,000, say for example, like you can with somebody who's being trafficked for prostitution. You can't make that kind of money off of platinum.
Oh, you want to know about rental value? Okay, so
I'm talking about value. What I wish to talk about value. It's rental. So now you're saying, "Oh yeah, people can be rented." Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm familiar with that one too. Okay, go ahead. Rental. What I'm talking about the value. I'm talking about human trafficking.
that's what you're. Well, I mean, if you wanted to talk about human.
No, I don't want anything. I don't want anything. You need to stop slandering me, sir. I require it. I don't want anything.
All right.
I don't want anything. I may wish for things.
You don't want me to answer the question?
No, I will require it or I wish for it, but I never want for anything.
Oh, you wish it, but you don't want it. Okay. So
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, does God tell man that man wants for nothing? Is that what God tells man? Man wants for nothing. So you don't even know what I wish for. So don't presume to think that I want for anything.
I mean.
You mean you don't like using exact words?
At this point, I just don't even know what you're asking.
I'm telling you this now. I'm not asking you anything right now. I'm telling you something.
I have.
It doesn't matter. That's fine.
On earth you're talking about.
Okay. Hey, Cliff, are you still on the call?
Nor would anyone with
No.
normal comprehension of words.
Oh, you don't think there's a difference between the word want and wish?
I would say the average person's comprehension of words is subpar at best.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we've already pretty much established that. So if you wish to be,
Don't you want to reach normal people with your
does not.
show? Like, don't you want normal people to you know
Hey, you're not very smart, are you? Are you not being smart, or are you attempting to wind me up?
I'm definitely not very smart. I mean,
Okay, so you're attempting to. Okay, okay.
Pushing the brilliance of someone like you. But,
Oh, I'm not very smart. I'm not very smart, but I don't need to be told the same thing over and over again when somebody makes an explicit point, unless it is you're attempting to mock me or wind me up. Because what did you just what were the things you just said? I know what it was. I can repeat it back, but I'd rather have you say it.
no. At this point, I just
Okay, I'll say it then. You said to me, you put it to me in a question. No. You put it to me in a question after everything we just said, after a fine point was put on it. Don't you want this? Don't you want that? Don't you want the other thing? So that's why I'm saying you're not very smart, are you? Because I've already told you, or you're mocking me. I've already told you. I don't want for anything. Because God says man does not want for anything. I may wish for things, I may believe things, I don't want for anything. So why would you ask somebody a question, start 3 different questions at the least, with the words, don't you want? Do you think want and wish are the same words?
Yeah.
You think they have the same meaning?
Do you understand the difference?
No, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Do you understand?
Okay.
Do you understand me?
Well, no, I don't.
You don't understand me. Well, okay. Okay, do you understand that what I'm saying is basic facts about the Financial Stability Board and the Bank for International Settlements, and that you are, do you understand the difference between want and wish? Do you understand that?
No.
You don't. Okay,
No.
let's look up the words.
No.
Let's look up the words. Want.
Something tells me it's beside the point.
Why? Why is it beside the point? It's words meaning 2 different things.
Because you were talking about something, the value of human beings versus other commodities or something like that.
Right. I mean, do you think that that's not? I mean, what's the biggest cost to every corporation? Human capital. Human capital. It's payment to employees or insurance for employees. Okay? You're so slow, dude.
I'm gonna try to change that pretty soon.
Whatever. It's what it is now. Let me know when they change it. Let me know. It'll always be that. It will never not be that. So, okay. So why you in a mocking manner talking about, yeah, you're comparing, human beings to other commodities. That's all the system does. It doesn't do anything else. Do you disagree? Yes or no? Yes or no? What is your, like, you got to twist everything. You are so dishonest. You're such a dishonest person.
Well, I mean, when you when you frame things in such a way that it's just like...
But it's the truth. And frame things... Okay, Cliff, you got to help me translate for this guy, because, like, you are dealing with individuals like this a lot more than I am.
When you say
you don't have the floor. 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 Clifford, you got the floor. Please.
Okay. So first I'll say, just because something sounds extreme doesn't mean it's ridiculous. And a very important thing about language, just because a majority of people have a certain schema or connotation does not mean that it's the best or wisest way to use language. It is not the wisest way to use spells just because a mass of uninformed people wish to use spells in an incorrect manner. That would be very wise. That'd be like saying, oh, because everyone jams a fork in their ear, that's how I'm going to use a fork. That's not really an intelligent thing to do. But I want to read this post about what it means to say I want. And I'll just hand the floor back to Chris if you want to continue. If you say I want, you are reaffirming the definition of want, which is to desire without having. This means by saying I want, you are literally telling the universe you do not have, which will perpetuate that reality. Switching I want with I have will assist you greatly in your manifestation endeavors. And I want to add that that's why God says man wants for nothing, because we already have everything we could possibly desire or need. And so when you have a system that does nothing but set up barriers to getting people things they need, when you say, oh, people need to eat, yeah, and the way man has done that has been, for the majority of history, has been primarily through growing food, but now there's these gates of the usury system. That's not a proper system. It's not a wise system, at least in fact. It's not a moral system. But I'll hand the floor back to you.
Well, Cliff, let me have a follow-up question. Would you say that that's a fraudulent system?
Yeah, oh, absolutely fraudulent.
Based entirely on fraud. If there's these ideas in the Bible and in other just knowledge that is, sacred knowledge that's always true. If something is built on a bad foundation, if the cornerstone is cracked, then the whole building will eventually collapse. So if something at its base point is fraud, and then at level 1 it's fraud, and level 2 it's fraud, and level 3 it's fraud, and level 4 it's fraud. And then as it keeps going, it's fraud from top to bottom. If it's fraudulent from its base. Okay. Who ordains the government? Did God create government and then create man, Taylor? Is that what you believe?
No.
Okay.
Man and government are cotemporal.
They're equal. They're equal. Equal. Okay. Okay, so like in our common law system.
They're not equal, but they're cotemporal.
Well, not really. Okay. It's like saying that me and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich are cotemporal. Okay, so is that the best way to describe the relationship between me and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Is cotemporal? I'm contemporaneous with this peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It is my contemporary.
Why would you say that?
Well, it's the same thing, because actually it's less valuable than a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because man creates the people, ordain the government. Do you know what ordain means?
Yes, I know what ordain means.
Okay, well, what?
Authorized or
what? It's a special kind of authorization.
Okay, what is the special?
It's ecclesiastical. It's ecclesiastical. It has religious overtones and connotations. Always ordain or ordination.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the key part. So like God created man, then man creates the government. And so in the law everywhere, that's very explicit. Man creates this government, and at any point, all power is vested and derived from the people. All power. Does it say, oh, no, cotemporal power sharing? It says all power is vested and derived from the people. So how is this working? If a vast majority are getting the raw end of the stick when it comes to this system, and the system is miseducating them and educating some more, I mean, you probably got a decent salary, certainly more than I make every year for, you know, doing as I wish. But your employment, it pays you decent, I'm sure. You have a decent lifestyle. You can enjoy as you wish, as you want, or as you wish. And you have a certain kind of lifestyle when you visit your parents, or growing up, getting your college education, and deciding you can become a employee of a government run nonprofit organization. It's good, it's decent up until today as far as the money goes. And we say, oh, all money's horrible. For the love of money is the root of all evil. If it's the root of all evil and it's the basis of society, isn't all society evil? And tell me where it's not evil. Tell me where it's not. We've spent all night talking about where it is. Yeah, yes, I do think
society is inherently evil.
I'm saying this usury based American society is inherently evil. Certainly. How can you disagree?
I think very significant parts of it are definitely.
Okay, so then why are you acting as if that's some sort of outrageous statement?
Oh, I don't know. It just sounded to me like you were saying that um, society itself had to be based on usury.
Hold on, Cliff. I'm gonna need you in here. I need another witness in here because no. Clifford, you have the floor now.
Yeah, so he definitely, and if anything, he was implying the thrust of all of this is that society should not be based on usury. And for large swaths of human history, it was not based on usury. And for civil society to be restored, we must go back to a society that is not based on usury. So no one here is making the argument, at least I'm not, and Chris is not making the argument that society has to be based on usury. That is the antithesis. That is in fact the antithesis of what either of us is arguing. We are. What I mean, they argue. We are stating that for society to not be evil, it must not be based on usury, and for there to be any civilized society, it cannot be based on usury.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what exactly to say, but yeah, it was kind of a twisted response.
No, I would agree. I would agree.
Okay. So again,
look. I'm not. I just want to say that I don't think that I am defending the unjust system we have. If anything, what I am doing is suggesting an alternative mechanism by which the current system operates. And I think that were that mechanism recognized, resistance to it would be more effective. So I don't want it to seem like I am, against what you're trying to do necessarily, or your project. I just maybe have a different point of view on.
Yeah, it's a different point of view because it's not what I
is operating.
It's not my project. It's not anything. It's what is. That's my only interest. What is? What is not? I'm not trying to do anything. I'm doing it. So again, misrepresentation, and again, it's fine. And this is how folks, get into a position where they are defending the undefensible. Because,
I mean,
yeah,
what am I doing that's defending like the Federal Reserve or?
You're misrepresenting what it does. You're misrepresenting that there is some legitimacy, that there is a checks and balance system. You were insinuating that there's a checks and balance. You were insinuating that they don't have full and total control.
I'm just describing the legal architecture. If I'm saying that they don't have full and total control under the legal system that's in place, that's just to say that Congress is the one that's more culpable as opposed to the Federal Reserve Board.
So if a gangster walks in, listen, here's how it goes. A gangster walks into a local saloon and says, "Hey, you're going to choose to give me all this money, $2,000 every week in cash, and then you're going to choose to keep your mouth shut about anything and better not say anything about it." And that's the same way that Congress chooses. Hey, who pays Congress's bills? Who is their debtor? Who is what's written on all the money? Does it say United States Congress money? That's what it should say, that, according to the Constitution, more than what it actually says. But what does it actually say on the cash?
It says Federal Reserve now.
Right. So who pays everybody's salary? Congress, the Treasury Department.
Congress does, actually.
Oh, does it? Oh, really? They do. They pay everybody's salary, and then it says Federal Reserve Note. It says Federal Reserve Note on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the stamp.
So Congress creates the money. Congress creates the money. So did Neil Kashkari? Let's see. Hold on a second. No. You don't ask me. Hold on. Okay. Kashkari. Let's see what he says. Infinite money. Okay. Let's see. And you can question him, not my interpretation of what this guy's saying, because you like to use a lot of words, and like you got your money's worth out of going to that expensive college.
Base exactly equal to the national debt. Why is that?
Why is what?
Why is the monetary base exactly equal to the national debt?
Because it's all debt. Because all the money created is debt. It's all created as debt. That's the simple answer.
Who determines what the size of the national debt is?
The national debt keeps increasing to levels far above what it is supposed to be at. So nobody does. It just increases infinitely.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Who determines the size of it?
Who determines the size of it?
No, it's a decision.
It's not a decision.
It's not the Fed.
Who sets the capitalization rates for all of the central banks of the world? Listen.
The sum of all budget deficits that have not been taxed back is the exact equal to the national debt. That is set by Congress.
Mm-hmm.
That is not set by the Federal Reserve.
Let me stop.
That's an accounting identity.
You're acting as though Congress and the Federal Reserve aren't working hand in hand. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, you're acting as though that Congress is
Sure they are, but you're acting as if the Fed is the one to blame as opposed to Congress.
No, what? What? That's ridiculous.
If Congress is so powerless.
Okay. Hey, let's get right into this. Let's get into this. No, you don't have the floor. You don't have the floor. Okay. Hey, how many times, Cliff, I'm going to put it to you, how many times every show do we say that all corporate and government officials are guilty of treason? And how many times do we point out that it is one entity? One entity. Go ahead, sorry.
I would say at least a dozen times each show.
Right. So again, man, this guy is pretty shameless. You're pretty shameless, Taylor, when you act as if we are not saying exactly what we're saying. Of course, who's more culpable? I would say the Fed, the Bank for International Settlements, is more culpable than the Congress, because all the nations of the world operate in the exact same manner, and they're all guilty of treason, and they've shut down and taken away the freedom of assembly all across the world all at once for no good reason, and there can never be a good reason. So, okay, here, one more thing. Coronavirus, Fed's infinite cash. That's Bloomberg. Tested in a world of leverage. That's the other thing. It's all leverage. It's all cash. It's all arbitrage. It's all fraud. Neil Kashkari, Federal Reserve Bank. Which one is he? Is that Minneapolis, I think? Correct me if I'm wrong. But in any event, he's a Federal Reserve Bank. Yeah, Minneapolis. And there's an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve. Infinite. You ever heard Congress say there's an infinite amount of cash at the Congress? That would be stupid if they said it, because they're not the ones that print the money.
Actually, they are, though.
Actually, they're not.
No, they're not.
They're not. Oh, guess what? Guess what? They print the money. They print the money here in this region at the Richmond Federal Reserve Bank. I'm certain of that. I'm 100% certain. That's where they print the money, and that's where they create the money.
Right.
Right.
In the same way that my 60 seconds.
In the same way that what?
In the same way that my gun shoots bullets. You're saying that...
No, but you just said, no, they do more than that. They do more than that. But you said that they don't, that Congress does. And I say, well, that's not true. And then you said, well, that's true, but the same way that my gun shoots bullets.
And I'm asking why the monetary base is exactly equal to the national debt, which is entirely...
And I told you, because it's all debt, and it's all, that's a fraction. That's the fraction of the money in circulation. The national debt is a fraction of the money in circulation, a fraction. A fraction, and I already told you the reason. I already told you the reason. Because all the money is debt. You've got to stop talking now. I told you why. You've got to stop talking now. You've got to stop talking now. You have got to stop talking. Okay. So you ask a question, and then you get an answer. And it is the correct answer. And it's a less consequential answer than the answer that I'm giving you on top of that. So why keep asking the same question? You ask, why is this equal to that? Why is this debt equal to whatever? It's because all the money is debt. And that's what's written down. And what I'm saying is that there is a derivatives market of upside down mortgage. I don't understand anything except for God. You are wrong. You are incorrect. You are fat. But you're not.
Okay.
You are incorrect. And I told you why.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, which is bigger? The derivatives markets in toxic mortgages or the debt? Which is bigger?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Right, the shadow economy. So if something's bigger and something's smaller, so
balance out the liability.
the liability is not chosen. I'm non-assumptive to all contracts. I don't agree with them, whether I have to sign for it or not. I state, I don't agree to it. I don't agree to any of this. Why would anybody agree to this system? So how is anybody liable?
It doesn't matter if you agree to it or not. It's in effect right now.
Right. It's a de facto and it's criminal and it goes against the Constitution. So what good is the Constitution if the monetary policy and the judicial branch and the executive branch and the legislative branch operate against the rules for the servants of the people?
Wait, why do you think the Constitution is legitimate?
Because that's the rules that these guys say that they swear an oath that they're going to uphold it. And if they actually did that, they would all be signing their own death warrants because they're all guilty of treason.
Did you know the Constitution was never legally ratified?
They swear an oath to it, and I would say certain parts of the Constitution were never legally ratified.
Would that be fraudulent then?
It's rules for our servants. It's rules for the servants of the people. They swear an oath to uphold it.
Ratification of the Constitution.
So what's your point? What's your point? Does no law ever apply? Okay. What's the law here? What's the law in America? What's the basis of it?
Well,
what kind of system do we have?
I mean, it's
like French countries, they have like Napoleonic Code. French territories have Napoleonic Code. What's our system of law?
We've got our own system of law.
No, what's it called? What's it called? It's a simple question. Either one comprehends the law or one does not. But if one says that they comprehend the law, they have to know this. No, I'm asking you a question. I'm not doing anything of a word I don't know what it means. I'm not doing something that I don't know what it means. I'm asking you a question. What's the simple law here in America? The basis. It says it in every constitution. No, yeah, okay. The Articles of a Confederation is an example of this type of law. What type of law is it? You got to stop. You got to stop talking. You have to stop talking. Stop your talking. You're out of order. You're out of order. 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 The Constitution is an example. The Articles of Confederation is an example. Virginia Constitution is an example. They are examples of what type of law? It's simple. Do you know or don't you know?
It's American law.
No, wrong. English common law. Common law. English common law is the answer. English common law is the answer.
Influenced by it.
No. Explicitly written into the law. Explicitly. Do you disagree? Is this not a common law nation? It's not in de jure, it's a common law nation. De facto, no, it's not. But that's what the Constitution is.
Common law. Louisiana has a
Napoleonic Code. That's fine. Napoleonic Code. That's right. I already referenced French territories. Napoleonic Code. Got you. I'm 5 steps ahead of you. Did I not just say that?
Well, I mean, that's part of the
Well, whatever. Okay. So if you eat 49% of a sandwich... Wait. If there's 50 parts of a sandwich and you eat 49, did you eat the sandwich or not?
You ate most of it.
Okay, most of it. Right. And did I not already reference French territories and say Napoleonic Code?
Maybe you did. I don't know.
Clifford, did I say that?
You did. I will be a witness to that. You did.
Okay. So, and what's the common law based on? You ever heard of William Blackstone?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. What's he say the common law is based on? It's based on a few things, but what is it always based on? What has it always been at its base?
I don't know what Blackstone says common law is based on.
Okay. The Bible. So the Bible says that engaging in usury is to be punished by death. Let's get the exact quote. Cliff, if you beat me to it, feel free to jump in. Let's see. Ezekiel 18:13 hath given forth upon usury and taken an increase. Semicolon. Hey, are you interrupting this religious? Okay, this is a religious meeting. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt scripture. Don't interrupt the scripture. Ezekiel 18:13 hath given forth upon usury and hath taken an increase. Shall he then live? Question mark. He shall not live. He hath done all these abominations. He shall surely die. His blood shall be upon him. Okay. So, I don't know, dude. Doesn't that what?
I mean,
doesn't that what?
That could be totally.
That could be totally what?
That could be totally true. That could be completely true. I mean, there are a lot.
But what I'm saying is Old Testament. Yeah. Okay.
There are a lot of prescriptions in the Old Testament that are not leaned on as legal requirements. I mean, things like.
Is that what Blackstone said? Is that what Blackstone said? Is that what Blackstone said? He said, did Blackstone say there are certain things in the Old Testament that are not legal requirements? I don't think that's the case. The Ten Commandments. You don't think that the common laws, that there's even statutes in common law that apply to all those things? So why would you say this? Is that not in the Old Testament, Taylor? Is that no?
I mean, part of the source of common law is imperial Roman law, like the Code of Justinian.
Not as much. Not as much. No, I mean some, but not really. It's the unwritten law of the English people. I mean, I would say Brehon law. That's more widely practiced by individuals of the Scotian Isles, Scotia, Scotland, England, Wales, Ireland, more than the Roman law. I would say, that's the case more than anything.
Early codices of English common law that are
the Bible.
Native from the Codex Justinianus, from the Code of Justinian. I don't know. It comes from a lot of different sources. It's a composite tradition, just like most other traditions. It doesn't have this extra temporal, extra historical sense to it.
How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? You didn't even know what Blackstone said was always part of the common law. Doesn't say this is always part of the common law. Let's see what William Blackstone says about the Bible. Are you saying the Bible doesn't apply? Are you saying that?
Do you know who Henry de Bracton was?
Of course I do. So who does he say is at the top? So now we'll get somewhere. Now we'll make some progress because I saw you making accusing Clifford of being a Jacobite. So now, so what does de Braxton say is the highest form? Who chooses the top arbiter of the law in the English common law system? Who chooses that?
I'm not sure about that.
Really? You're not sure about that? Then why are you talking about William de Braxton? Who chooses it?
Well,
Who's? Let me ask you a simpler question. Who? Well, no. I'm not talking about ancient Roman law. I'm talking about English common law. Okay. No. You're wrong. You're wrong, and you're out of order. Order. Okay. So, what's the top arbiter in English common law? Who's the tops? The top man.
I'm guessing it's the king.
Okay, right. Who does William de Braxton say chooses the top lawgiver?
I don't know.
Right, you don't know. God. God chooses who the king is. God, and how is that chosen? How is that chosen? How's a legitimate monarch chosen? I mean, you're referencing the legitimate monarchs. You're referencing them. You reference them in a smart aleck comment. Right? Are you smart enough to follow where I'm going? It's not that complex.
Legitimate monarch, but
well, how's it chosen then?
Well,
they vote on it.
Testament.
They vote on it.
God.
No. We're talking about English common law, and you brought up de Braxton. So what is it? Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, there's even a phrase. There's even a phrase that these guys all reference. What's that? Because we already established it's God. All right, I just did a de Braxton king, divine right of kings. So there you go. It's the divine right of kings. The divine right of kings. How is that chosen?
A phrase that didn't come. No, that didn't come up until hundreds of years later.
You're wrong. Hundreds of years later.
In the times of Henry de Braxton.
It certainly did.
No.
It certainly did.
No.
No, it didn't. Where do you think it first came?
That's a phrase that.
No. Under what line did it first come? Under what line? What line of English kings did it come under?
Under what?
Under what line? Like there's no, it didn't come under the Stuarts. You're wrong. Okay, it predates the Plantagenets. Okay. So we'll get it. I mean, because I have this, this is going to be in my new book.
It had a counter tradition in.
It had no counter tradition. It had no counter tradition.
Right.
Unless you're talking about the Vikings.
The Magna Carta never happened.
The Magna Carta, it said that nobles have rights through their peerage, and that has to do with their bloodlines. Did Magna Carta give rights to anyone except for those related to the king through blood?
Also, the right of head.
No. Right. Go to anyone other than those who are bloodline related in some sort of way to the king. Did it not have to do with nobility and bloodline? That didn't cover everyone. Certainly not. Did it? The answer is no.
I don't know. I mean,
you don't know?
Here, but,
Whoa. You don't know?
Well,
you don't know whether that only applied to the nobles or not?
Hold on.
No, I'm not going to hold on because you're misrepresenting things. You know, or you're wrong.
No, I'm not. I don't know. No, I don't know. I'm not trying to misrepresent anything. I'm not
Well, then why are you acting as if you are? You're saying that the Magna Carta didn't happen, and I'm saying, yeah, the Magna Carta's that's bloodline stuff too.
So I mean, it doesn't really matter to me.
It doesn't matter to you. Well, then why? If they're facts, so you're saying facts don't matter to you?
Yes, facts don't matter to me.
Well, that's what you're saying. If you're saying it doesn't matter, you're arguing a certain point, and then when you're proven to be wrong, you're saying it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, there you go. All right. And you're wrong about De Braxton. And you're wrong about the divine right of kings. It did not come up with James the Sixth of Scotland and the first of England.
Are you a James?
I am James the Sixth of Scotland. Yes, who's also James the First of England.
Are you
Wait. No. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that.
One thing.
Did you not know that James Stuart, the first James of King of England, was also the sixth James Stuart King of Scotland? Did you not know that?
I did not know that.
Okay, now you do.
That proves everything.
No, it proves that you have some sort of reaction to everything that's said, like it's outrageous, and then 99.9% of the time, you're proven to be wrong. That's what it proves.
But no, the thing is, one thing that I was wondering that I actually really wanted to ask is, like, do you think the Stuarts are the legitimate, royal line?
I believe that they are part of that. I believe that that's a complicated question. Do you know much about haplogroups? Do you know much about genetics and DNA?
Not really.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it would be difficult to explain that an answer to that question to one who.
It seemed like a yes or no question, though.
Well, it is
like
yes. It is yes, and it is also you can't really say because the haplogroups they have anomalies that occur over time.
Sounds like you're obscuring things.
I'm not obscuring things. I'm being exact. What I'm saying is that the legitimate.
But when I do that, though, I'm the one obscuring things, though, right?
Well, the short answer is yes. Then the long answer is that there are a number of subcategories called haplogroups from or subclades, I should say, of things called haplogroups. So all of the legitimate monarchs of England have R1b Y-DNA haplogroup. So that is a necessary precursor. Some individuals may have an R-132 or an R-L21, and then there are subclades on that. Off of that, the Stuarts are R-L21. Then there are, which is a subclade of R1b haplogroup. Then underneath that, there are more specific haplogroups, like the Y-DNA of the ancient Irish king Niall of the Nine Hostages. His is R-M222, which is R1b, and it is also R-L21. Are you following me? But not all R1b, and definitely not. It's the opposite. So it's like being British and being English. All English are British, but not all British are English because they're Welsh, Cornish, and Scottish. So the answer is yes and no. And also, if one doesn't know these things, and that's not even like you'd have to know a lot more to answer the question. So I don't know. Maybe I didn't do that exactly as properly as I could have, but I don't know how else to say it. Let's see.
So it's not that unreasonable then to say that you're a Jacobite of some variety, right?
I'm a man, and again, it's like when folks accuse me of being a Freemason, and I say, well, Freemasons are exclusively servants of the royal bloodline of England, Ireland, and Scotland. So why would I say that I'm something that is only to perpetuate uh, the authority that I have that I was born with because of the particular type of blood that I have? So, I mean, it's pretty simple, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm this is a little bit beyond my depth in terms of genetics and what have you.
But that's how it works. I'm not saying that whether one can rationally agree or disagree with it. I'm just telling you what is. That's all I'm saying. Um, that's it.
I have to suspend judgment on that. But
I mean, that's fine.
We're a little past my bedtime at this point.
All right, that's fair enough. I appreciate you coming on the show, and let's see. Just trying to get this. Here we go. Let's see. In order to demonstrate the antiquity of the divine right of kings, we will examine the early 13th century writings of Bracton. These writings were well known to King James, his predecessors, and his contemporaries. You were referencing, some say de Braxton, some say Bracton's, but he's saying Bracton's most famous work is De Legibus et Consuetinibus Anglia, or On the Laws and Customs of England. Remember, this is 1200s, 13th century. Through his work is contributed to Bracton. It is believed that other persons also contributed to Legibus. Is an ambitious work which attempts to describe the whole of English law and is described by F.W. Maitland in The Crown and the Flower English Jurisprudence. The king has no equal within his realm, nor a fortiori, that's Fortiori, a superior, because he would then be subject to those subjected to him. The king must not be under man, but under God and under law, because law makes the king. For there is no rex where will rules rather than lex, since he is vicar of God. Do I need to go on? Because again, like everything you said, it's refuted by actual facts. You are, like you said, way over your depth.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then,
All right. Well, thank you very much. Okay. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for allowing me to correct you.
I appreciate the chance, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, and
absolutely,
we can do it again sometime.
Whenever you'd like.
All right.
Whenever you'd like. God bless. God bless.
All right. Sounds good. God bless, sir.
All right. God bless you. All right, Cliff, you still on the call?
Yeah, David in the chat. He wants to get on the Facebook Live.
Yeah, let's try it. I'm gonna try it. All right. Yeah, just hey, can you give a quick recap of that, because it's like it's really shocking how folks will act like they know like a little about so much, and they think that they know a lot about everything as a result. And this guy, I was really happy that the computer was cooperating. I'm trying to bring David on now. um yeah, David's saying he doesn't think anybody can be added. But again, it's shocking when everything that this guy was being sarcastic to me about, um it's what actually is and what is actually a fact. And when he brought up DeBraxton or Bracton, I was like, man, you're crazy. He explicitly writes about the divine right of kings. And like, and I said, when does that, when did it start? Oh, it started with the Stuarts. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Because he says, oh, it's hundreds of years before the Stuarts. And that's a counter tradition. Am I being incorrect, Clifford?
No, you are not. I mean, again.
And again, I said it's the Plantagenets. Sorry, I just want to get that out. And then it's written down in one of the most famous, documents of English jurisprudence. When was it written? Right during the Plantagenet period. I know what I'm talking about. Why do these individuals think that they can compete? Do I give off some sort of impression that if I give off the impression that I'm not correct, but I in fact am correct about the things I'm talking, I don't know what to do about that, Cliff. It seems like it's a problem.
I mean, if I were to just think, well, the first thing I was going to say is there's a lot of misinformation out there, and then people will be fed misinformation, and it'll just be reaffirmed for them, and they'll just roll with it. As far as people's impression of you, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I would just say maybe it's your north node, south node placement. I mean, but I don't. It's kind of late. I don't want to like get into all that on air. I don't even want to say it's complicated, but it's definitely not pop astrology. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. That would be my guess as far as any impression on your end, but as far as people's general attitude, they're fed misinformation from birth, and they are possibly reinforced or regurgitating that misinformation, myself included. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it was shocking. It was shocking the college words he would use, how he would switch arguments around, how he would act as if he's making a positive statement, disagreeing that he disagrees, but regurgitates in many more words than necessary, exactly what I just got done saying or what you just got done saying. I don't know. I mean, how he acts as if he knows more than me about a subject, and then can't answer simple questions. Yeah, and then the Braxton stuff.
I'll say I thought it was.
What's that?
I'll say I thought it was an excellent show overall. I think it was an excellent show overall because a lot was covered. I mean, again, it's nothing new was covered, but it's like I felt like a lot of breadth and depth was covered in that one show. And I mean, I would say, hey, if you want a good summary of everything we talked about, watch this particular show. But I think if one was paying attention, one would learn a lot. Assuming they are at a certain level, they would gain a lot of knowledge. I mean, being able to have a show that goes from talking about the financial stability board to the origins of sort of the most modern writings of the divine right of kings. I should say most modern. I mean the most, what's the word?
Well, I mean, it was, yeah. I mean, it is a lesson because it's everything that's wrong, and then it's being corrected. I didn't make DeBraxton write what he wrote. I didn't make Blackstone write what he wrote. I didn't write what was in the Constitution. I didn't say the Constitution is the rules for our servants. I didn't say is English common law is the law of this land. And it would be like, okay, okay, minus the French territories, Canada and the United States. And I didn't say this specifically, but I did say, yeah, Napoleonic Code. They're not common law. But I said that already. And then he points it back out. It's like, dude, you don't even listen. And like, he could be smart, I presume, but he is not. He's not. He's not smart. He's not knowledgeable. And, I don't know. It was, I liked everybody else to judge what it was. And keep in mind, if somebody's in a freaking meeting and they're wrong all the time, do you want to hear the wrong person following the wrong procedure with the wrong facts, talking a bunch of nonsense over and over and over again? That's what was happening. And then he was going, okay, like, hey, you're wrong about this. And you're wrong, and it's not it's kind of a character flaw. Okay. I mean, how many times did he do that? Enough.
I will say again that this someone from my college, looking back, that place was like a hotbed of weird, bizarre, mind-control operations. And I'll pretty much leave it at that. I mean, again, so I don't even know if it's even worth getting into. He was pretty much sort of lambasted by everyone as being like a fascist, and like, and of course the characterizations were over the top and extreme, but now he seems to kind of be promoting the sort of like communist sort of angle. I have no, I should say I have no idea, but I would feel I would be making an error to try to just say, oh, like, it's some weird sort of deep, like, communist agent operation where they go from being characterized right wing, and I have no real idea, but again, I would just say, and that's all the universities in America, like, people come out really warped, whether they've been intelligence agents before they enrolled in college, whether they're recruited after, or they're just warped. And people come out of these universities extremely warped.
Yeah. They don't know up from down, but they are certain that they do. They think down is up, and they will be very sarcastic to anyone who attempts to correct them. So, and actually, that's if one wishes to know anything about the ancient constitutions of Freemasonry, again, those rules don't apply to me. They apply to all Freemasons. They don't apply to me. They apply to all Freemasons, just like the Constitution doesn't apply to me. It applies to all my servants. But it says, hey, if you see somebody doing something wrong, it's your duty to correct them. So God bless him. He's been corrected. He was wrong about everything, and he was very sarcastic about it. So, I mean, there's other rules in the old York constitutions that say, and everybody's subject to that, or they're it's like Freemasons is just kind of means like free man. Doesn't it means like, hey, you're a little bit lower than those of noble birth. So it's not that like big of an accomplishment. So anyway, but hey, that is one of those things. I agree with their initial rules. I definitely agree with the old York constitutions of 926. I'm not subject to them. I am the benefactor of them. They're created out of my largesse. So, again, thanks, Cliff. That was fun. I enjoy that, except for it's like dealing with a petulant child that's wrong about everything. Not saying children are wrong about everything. I'm saying he was wrong about everything. All right. Well,
I enjoyed it as well. I feel like I got a lot out of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Me too. Me too. I'm glad that was finally done, and yeah, he should listen to that again, and shouldn't laugh so much. It's fun. Everybody can laugh at everything, but a mocking laughter is not a fact. It's not a legitimate or rational argument, and that's really all he had, or to agree that he was wrong and say it was his bedtime. So, anyway, all right. Well, thanks, Cliff. We'll be back. And Cliff, while we're on the phone, let's see if we can switch to that fans only thing. I don't know if you got my email about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna try. We're gonna make our best effort to do that sort of thing. And I also want to thank Michael Dick for donating, and also I'm gonna have to look up this person's name. And you can donate at gmail.com. So thanks, Michael Dick. As always, it was a couple weeks ago, so apologies for the late thank you. And also, is it a couple days ago? Looks like I got a couple thank yous to give out. Than Trong, thanks, Than Trong. Many thanks. And oh, that's royalties from the book. So, yep, still royalties from the books are coming in. So thanks for buying the book. And yeah, that's it. Peace and God bless y'all. See you next week. Fansonly.com or whatever that's called. We'll let you know. Peace and God bless.